Okay, welcome back to the couple project. We are going to be working on our 2007 Honda Odyssey van. There's a factory navigation system and it has never worked. So we are replacing it with a aftermarket stereo. This little beauty right here. We've replaced it several times and it does not work.
So what Sarah's talking about is that particular screen when we bought the vehicle didn't work. There's a module underneath the driver's seat and I've replaced it now twice. That still didn't work. I've replaced the screen twice. It still doesn't work. The rest of the stereo system does work. So because this vehicle has the DVD system, if we were to replace the stereo with an aftermarket stereo, it would make this system no longer work. There's no way to adapt it. I've looked at several options. There's a few guys that have done some pretty trick wiring, but you end up having to go back into the ECM and reprogramming it with ones and zeros to be able to get this to work with an aftermarket. So what we're going to try to do is simply make this new head unit be a slave to the original factory unit. What it's going to do, it's going to give us a screen that works. It's going to give us the ability to hook up our phones. And when you put it in reverse, we'll actually get the picture from the back. This vehicle came with a factory camera. However, it's never worked because of that module under the seat. So we can't figure out what part's wrong. We've replaced it so many times and we're just done with that. So we're going to do it this way and you get to follow along. So this is actually a Chinese-made stereo that bought off of Amazon. It has an Android operating system, but it says it has mirror link, Bluetooth, got lots of different cables. Unfortunately, it does not come with wiring instructions, so there will be a little bit of work to get that part done. To get this to mount, the normal mount that's available for this van is recessed. That wouldn't work for this screen. So I ended up cutting plastic and hard mounting it in there. So when it's all in there, you guys can tell me what you think.
First, to get this out, we're gonna have to take this off. So what you have to do is open this and you're going to pry it from this end. There is more over here. Maybe. I'll get this. It's caught on this radio. There it is. And there are going to be 3 wiring prongs you have to disconnect. There's one back here. Is there a tab I have to?
Mm-hmm. See it?
No. There.
Ta-da!
Now that one, it's gonna fall back into here, so make sure you have something to grab it out with. There's one here in the middle and one at the bottom. So it was right here, here, and here. We can just put this in the back, get it out of the way.
Okay.
So To take this out, you're going to take the 2 screws out. So unscrew it. And to take this out, you're going to need to move the shifter down so that you have room to move this out. There are also 2 little clips that hold this in. And then you've got, of course, your wiring. So there's 2 up here and 2 down here.
And what you don't see because of the screen is there's actually a CD changer that came with these vehicles. Yes, even in 2007 they had CD changers. So if you have a CD in here, make sure you eject it before you pull the plugs out, because if you don't, it's stuck in there. Just out of the parts store, just while we had everything apart, we noticed that this bulb made it to almost 200,000 miles before it burned out. I believe that's the factory original bulb because it did not want to come out. So we got a new one. And he guaranteed it will last another 200,000 miles.
Look at that motorhome.
The Cheeto truck?
Oh, that one.
Oh, sorry, I can't see it way down there.
It's way down there. Look at it. It's coming. Look at it. Look at it. It's pretty. It's little. That's a little one.
It's probably a gas one too, not diesel.
Probably. It's a little one though.
And we figured since we're out and about, without heat, AC, and stereo, we're going to grab some lunch. Hey, let's go get some food.
Okay. Oh, you have my phone.
I have your phone. So we're currently shooting on the iPhone 11 Pro Max. We do have some generic GoPros, we do have DSLR, even got our fancy drone that we took up the other day. Of course, it's too windy to do any of that today. But we have not used this Pro Max for video before, so we're gonna try it out today. Get some of their famous chips and cheese dip. B-roll. Oh my gosh, I'm so full. It's warmed up quite a bit in here.
It did. It's really warm.
Let's turn on the AC.
Oh, wait.
Can't do that. So we're gonna head back to the house and finish working on the wiring, because again, we're just adding the screen. We're not taking away the stereo. I took it out just to look at the wiring harness, because if we take out this part of the stereo, then our DVD player in the back will no longer work. We're just adding the screen. It's going to give us the ability to do auxiliary input, so basically Bluetooth with our phone. It has a mirror link, so it's going to mirror whatever's on our phone to that screen. And it does have a built-in Android navigation. And then most of all, when we put it in reverse, the camera will actually show up on the screen, which is something that should have happened from the day we got it. But the way that Honda built these is you have, this is your main stereo component, which is also wired to the screen, which is also wired to that DVD player, which is wired to the screen in the back. And ultimately there is a module under the seat down there that's included. Okay, we're working outside. It was a beautiful day today. It made no sense to move the other vehicles out of the way just to work on this. However, I dug through most of the wiring, and since this is not a cut and dry install, you'll get to see kind of what we're working on. So like I said before, we've got the wiring completed. Again, this wasn't a complete install from scratch because we're leaving this. This unit is just going to be the auxiliary input. It's also going to feed our Bluetooth from our phones into this system. And eventually the backup cam that we're replacing will then feed into this as well. So when she puts it into reverse, she'll get a picture on the screen. All right, so Sarah's gonna complete this install all by herself.
Okay, so lots of cables back here. We're going to hook up all the ones that say out. And then there's one that we have to hook in here. So I'm going to do that. Okay, well, it won't pull out, so.
Now for those that are wondering what this is, this goes, there's some wires that came in the van to feed a video game setup in the back. Well, since we don't have that in this vehicle, we instead tapped into that system, and then there is an auxiliary switch here. And what that does is that gives video and sound from the video game system through the stereo. So what we've done is we've tapped it with these component plugs, and when you hit aux on the stereo down here, it will allow the sound from this to feed through here. It's similar to plugging in your iPhone, but we don't have that ability, so this is how we're going to do it.
Okay, so we're going to hook these up, all the ones that say out. Tuck all this back in here.
Oh, we got power. So that's a good first test. It's got a tab on each side and a screw at the bottom. Should hear it snap. Yep. I have to tell you, from the tiny little screen that was on there before, that looks a whole lot different. Now, from what I understand, this is a Chinese Android screen. It does have US settings on it, and it runs off an Android platform, so it's like a little mini tablet. It has its own GPS antenna, which I did route. It's not on camera that I did it, but it's over there on the windshield. That's routed all the way through the dash. into here, so it will have its own GPS signal. It can actually use its own navigation system that's built into it, or you can mirror link your phone.
Okay, so we have that set. Now we have to
peel that up a little bit. Ooh, look at that.
Now we have to hook these back together so that you can have your AC and heat. This is where the grabber tool comes in handy because this one falls down and there's not a lot of slack. So, actually I'm going to hook these two up first. Hook those back up.
That's your airbag warning. Your AC, as you should probably hear it just kick back on. And then the one she said drops in there controls your dome lights. It gives you the selection to turn them off, coming on with the door, or on all time. So once she gets that plugged back in,
just turn the blinker on.
Oh, see, back in, dome light comes on because we have a door open. So that took 2 people to get it maneuvered and back in there. And that screen is a little more snug than the old one. Yep. So take it off and see what it does. So I haven't played with it, but it does have navigation. And I haven't set it up, obviously. You have video, so it can actually receive video or send video. We don't have the sound on right now. We don't want to end up having to deal with any copyrighted music or anything. Otherwise, we'd have this turned on and set to aux, that one. But it looks like it's an amazing video screen. And there's a home button. It's got Bluetooth, music, there's a settings, it's got a radio, and then tons of apps. And it's just like a phone. You can click on YouTube, and with an internet connection, you can actually go and subscribe and like the couple project. She's taking it back home. You got your clock, your date, all that's set. Now, once you link this with your phone, it has a USB hookup. It also has Bluetooth. It is supposed to be able to exchange data that'll keep your clock and calendar accurate. And again, if you are plugged in, I believe through the iPhone, it'll access internet for you. There is also an option that you can hook in an antenna on the back, subscribe with a SIM card, and you can have your own cellular powered device in your dash. So it's a nice add-on for older vehicles that didn't come with it. These Android platforms also have a small device that hooks into your OBD2 connector under your dash, and it'll give you real-time data about your vehicle, talk about the codes that you have, and let you know when you have service appointments and such. So pretty cool little add-on. We did not get that. We just wanted a screen. So there we are. This was a quick and easy project. I say quick and easy. The wiring took a little bit. That's why it wasn't recorded. But the actual install didn't take long at all. And now we're up and running. Well, the coolest thing we figured out so far, it has internet. So that'll conclude this episode of the Couple Project. We do have a few other things we want to do to the system, but for now, we've got a working screen, and so far we're pretty happy with it. What do you think?
I think it looks good.
Yep. So once we get the camera installed, we'll drop a video on that, and you can see that working in action. But that's all for now. Thanks for watching. All right, we saw something cool. It knows we're in a Honda. How fun is that? In a short video, we also had someone local make us up some decals. So that's YouTube. Hard to see with the glare. Facebook, Instagram. Like us, follow us, subscribe. Wait, what was that?